of characters, really, it's always fluid, but it hasn't changed that much. And
Yeah, some of it's like it's just like an
maybe
Iron Man.
like
I was
Game
like, I
of
did Iron
Thrones, we
Man's like
add some new
6
characters in
hours
as
faster
some
than this. So,
maybe
so
don't
it's
make it
like
to the next season, but that doesn't happen
crazy.
all that often. These women have made the most out of racing against each other. There's multiple teams. There's been a lot of really
Yeah,
fun lead up to this, and
exactly.
obviously Anna Russell is, I would even say, part of our ZRL family. Not part of. She
I
is our
don't,
ZRL family. You do a great
but that's just because
broadcast
I
with her
like
called The
cheddar.
Wrap every Thursday that I absolutely love. Well, that being said, Anna Russell's one of this cast of characters. There's the Kristen Kolchinskys. There's a Christina Grossmans.
Oh, don't
There's
worry.
the Rachel
Megan's like
Liebermans.
vomited on here. It's pretty.
It's not just
Yeah, anything
Riot
goes.
and the Virginia Blue Ridge
Yeah.
2024 team. But this is the framework that we have. Honestly, this is a great group of inspiring women that race their hearts out, but they do it with nothing but class, and we all benefit from the lessons that we learn from these women. So, is that a long enough answer for you? Because the short
Well,
answer is
I absolutely love it. And really, it's the rivalry between those two teams you mentioned that then brought up this highlight of the entirety of how
2.2K
much
is when
talent
it
there is
starts.
really competing within this division. Let's take a look really quickly, though, for those that are wondering what's this round about. What's the zero out about for this first race?
I mean,
Let's take
like,
a quick look at the course because
it's only like
this is
a
one of
K
the
and a half
hardest
after the
courses
sprint
we've got,
into
and it's a course
Castle.
that's newer to this to Zwift
Like the whole
racing in
race
some ways because
It's
not
only
a lot of
23 kilometers.
organizers have used this course actually for racing a lot of times. The Chain Chomper, Dave, 15.9 kilometers per lap. They're doing a lap and a half out
Yeah,
here.
I'd
There's
be
going to
like
be the
up out of the
country
saddle,
sprint, which is right in that lower
ready to
part.
go
It's not
before
actually
it
marked on this
starts.
map, but it's in that lower end of the downhill from the start, which is going to be a crazy fast sprint. Then there's the Castle
Hi,
Climb, which
Claire.
also has points at the top of it, as this is a points competition.
Thanks
And then
for
the Temple
DSing.
Climb, which is all on dirt with a lot of prehistoric animals, it seems, as well as our friend the captain.
yeah, this is such a perfect course.
It all
and
looks good
it's
on
a
paper.
complicated
No, you need
course
to
as
help
well.
with lap
That,
2.
where you see the finish line,
Lap 2
this is
is
a
like,
different
I don't know.
graphic. It's actually where the Temple reverse climb is where the race will finish. Nathan nailed it there.
Awesome.
It's a lap and a half with a 2.3K tail
Okay, great.
to lead you
I
on to
love
the
it.
circuit. So they do see most of these sectors twice. That first
So it
sprint,
starts with a
there's a
little
real
downhill.
surge that comes just 2K
Oh, Claire, I
and
think
a
my
little bit of
jersey's
change
different,
in
just
as they
FYI.
go underneath the arch, and that's the first time that the power-ups come into play.
Hey, Jen.
And it's 3 very, very effective power-ups. You'll see the feather, the helmet, and the anvil.
Oh,
that we'll
everyone's
be talking
racing
about. Feather is
Let's-
very well known.
B category for
Real quick,
OTR.
sorry, Dave. I just want to talk to that country
Yeah.
sprint just really
Her and
quickly.
Natalie got a
And
Oh,
just
yeah.
what kind of watts per kilogram that these ladies are throwing down? It's that 5 to 15 second, right, that we're going to be talking about. And when we're talking about this rivalry out here today, who do we need to be watching out for? And I really think, giving the viewers a little bit of an idea, we're talking ladies that can throw down somewhere between 10 to 15 watts per kilogram for that 15 seconds. 13 watt per kilogram surges is what you're looking at from a lady like Christina Grossman. And she coined the idea of a going plaid, right? And then we've got Alana Brady next to her, which I think is going to have to be a little bit more tactical, though, perhaps, to match the kick that is that 5 second sprint from Christina.
Yeah, this is going to be when we talk about why are we highlighting this group of women. This first country sprint will show you everything
Here we
that you
go.
need. Alana Brady's a very interesting athlete. Comes from a dancing background. Went to Appalachian State, which is a very cool place to go to college. Lives in Wisconsin now. In Ripon, Wisconsin, where there's a great
Yeah, there's
collegiate
definitely some
cycling
New
program there.
Jerseys.
So I bet you she has a lot of riders that she can go out with in real life and ride. Christina Grossman comes in as one of the most celebrated sprinters and dog lovers. Certainly got to give her a pat on the back for the good work she does there. But Christina Grossman is as community as it gets in Zwift. And a big part of the Good Gals Racing team, which is Josh Lipka, one of the good guys.
Why?
It's a really cool team that races in New York City or around all over the world, actually. But they're based in New York City. So Christina Grossman has used her Zwift confidence and the strength that she's built and taken that to the streets and gone back and forth. And I would say Nathan is one of the best examples of an athlete who's done really well on Zwift and in real life and used both to bolster each other.
Real quickly, just want to shout out a couple others, though, to be watching out for, because we're highlighting these two, but there's also a newer team, Optimum, that has shown up. Stephanie Lovengauer. You've got Michelle Jean, also big watts from them coming in when it comes to, and also pretty high ranked. Angela Roberts, they're from Aeonian. OTR Racing have Renee Belushki and Stephanie Clark from ATP as well. So when it comes to the sprint, watch out for them.
And Sonia Foote, Nathan, as
Sonia
well.
Foote,
Another New
100%.
Zealander
100%.
in this race. Yeah, she's another over. Anybody who can make over 11 watts deserves really to be in that conversation. I think of the sprinters to watch. I have to look at one of our all-time favorite teams as well, Aeonian. And did you mention Angela Roberts?
I did
You
mention
might have.
Angela
Claire, if you
Roberts.
should
Yes,
get
and
eyes
she is
on
definitely one to be watching out for as
Kristen,
well.
and see if she's on
100%. Yeah,
gravel
no
or
doubt.
road
Looks like,
after
are
the
the ladies
sprint.
already out on course? All right, buckle up, Buttercups. This is going to be intense. It's 23 kilometers of racing out here.
900 meters.
368 meters of climbing, but don't take your eyes off the racing as it will be non-stop out here today. This was a world that was introduced in May of 2021, you Maisie launch. We're on the Chain Chopper, a bespoke edition. Thank you to Martin and WTRL. This is going to be quite a throwdown. I see Jen Reel racing out of Texas there. She's turned herself into one of the notable gravel racers here in the United States right now. Nathan, I could go on, and we will. We're celebrating what's going to be one of the best seasons. Now, there's 6 races. They've got a couple team time trials that they'll be doing. As a matter of fact, next week, the Magnificent 8 will be the first team time trial for these ladies. But today, it's going to be a Donnybrook out here. Back to you, Nathan, as we pick up the peloton in full flight.
Yeah, and here we go. We're going to be watching the first sprint here in just a moment because these ladies are just about to take off, and up and out of the saddle they go. We do have Jackie Gobby. One I think we're going to be watching out for. Perhaps she's going to be going for the sprint, but no, I actually think it's going to be her teammate. Anna Russell's actually going all in for this. Look at her up and out of the saddle, but Alana Brady, we called it, Dave. It looks like Brady just nipping at the line there. Lovengauer there from Optimum. This is a new team on the radar for us here, Dave, I think. As where they suddenly come from, Dave, they just picked up, I think, first, second, and maybe even third place there. I did see that Alana Brady was right there, but I'm not sure if she got nipped at the line.
Okay, Nathan, welcome to the big time Optimum. This team looks to me, Nathan, to be almost entirely from Quebec is going to be my guess. Canadian flags, but I have a feeling that if we could see a little deeper, peel that onion layer back, we'd see a blue Quebecois flag. As Naomi Labbé-Roy, Anne-Sophia Farine, Anna-Maria Poisson, Emile Marsolet, Michelle Jean, and Stephanie Lavoliere. This is going to be a new team to me right now, but clearly they're heavy hitters and they came to play.
This is, I love how this, we said, is there going to be a team that suddenly appears? And it looks like to me that's exactly what's happening when it comes to this rivalry. We had a 4-way rivalry when it came to the top 4 teams from last round of this season. And it was ATP Stingers. They took second place to 2024, who won things out. And then we had right below them RIOT, who usually took first or second up against the 2024 rivalry we've been talking about. And then below them, we had Aeonian Dynamas. Our Optimum, a whole new part of the elements. We have a 5th element here showing up, Dave.
Yeah, you know, Nathan, one of my favorite sayings is that coming out of the woodwork. Well, I guess the woodwork was a maple tree.
I think if we don't do this,
we
just brought the syrup. I hope they brought the syrup here.
Making
things sweet. Yeah. Let's go. Real quick, I want to just take a quick look here to make sure what we got here, because this is the replay of what we just saw take place when it comes to this country sprint. Let's see how things ended up playing out. 50%. Here we go. A little bit of a speed up now.
All we're
doing
looks like
is
waiting.
It was led out, I think, by no, it was actually Clark there from ATP. At the front, it was Brady holding right to the line, and I think she got it. She did.
I don't know.
And it was Optimum right on her heels.
I just think our team ethos is like,
and so that's going to be the situation. Oh, Dave, one that we didn't call out. A friend of mine stayed here over, look at that W post there for Obscure Finesse. A recent pickup for AF.
I can do the
Whitney
first
Post
attack.
is racing, Dave.
Oh, fantastic. Whitney Post out of Bush. She's racing inside with the pouring rain in California right now. Nathan, I do want to note that what we saw there, absolutely calling it correctly, they'll go back and look at the back-end API from all of our riders around the globe, because this is a worldwide field that we've got here, and start placing those points in the right places. There's a lot of points to be distributed.
Okay, let's save it.
That's a really exciting. Whitney Post had been racing with us in America's East. So I have a feeling, as they say, birds of a feather flock together, and the top racers in really this time zone, which is evening, really early evening in America or late evening in Europe. This is going to be a hot zone here. It's so much quality.
Yeah.
And that's what these women, they don't want to just race, Nathan, to show up and devastate fields. They're looking for this. I mean, Jackie Godby is another good example of a name that's going to be very fun to be commentating on out here. She's one of the world's best. She's had some outstanding performances at the World Championships. So the Castle and Temple, that's really what it's all about here today. The finish line is up on top of Reverse Temple KOM. Oh, Nathan, you're bringing up two superstars here. Can I contrast these two riders in an interesting way very quickly?
Yeah, let's make that. Let's get that whole. We're on the climb here, but let's get an idea of how these are going to play out.
Well, what I love is Kristen Kolchinski has gone all in with esports and has had some unbelievable results. She's a really cool success story. I love what she's all about. Megan Rathwell has had some in real life results that are raise your eyebrows, like ooh la la. Racing on the west coast of Canada, it's called Super Week, where she's put up some great rides through the years. So a lot of in real life experience versus a rider that has not really any in real life experience, but I don't know of anyone who's more savvy in the world of esports. And both of them, though, at the end of the day, Nathan, as you well know, it comes down to heart, desire, and preparation. Both these ladies check every box.
100%. Matching the two against each other. Kolchinski usually having the better climbing legs, but Rathwell savvy for sure, and has been able to find chinks in the armor at times of Kolchinski. We'll see what kind of work that Rathwell's been doing through the winter now and how things play out as well. Dave, who else might be on the radar, though, for favorite climbers out here today? Let's make sure to highlight a few of the others that may be able to show up and challenge these two. I mean, we do have some new names.
Yeah, well, and Rachel Lieberman is one for me, Nathan, racing out of Seattle, that just can really scoot up these climbs. A serious talent. Putting a picture of Godzilla next to Kristen Kolchinski, it's hard to say who's stronger. You know what I mean? I mean, it's almost unfair to put anybody else over in that box. As Kolchinski has been one of the greatest esports. She's on in the esports Hall of Fame, in my mind, even though we've only been doing this for a little more than 5 years. But look at this surge from Jackie Godby. Here we go. Jackie Godby right on cue. Now, this is going to get a response. Godby has hit out with authority. Regulators will be mounting up. Here we go. Alarm bells ringing. It's on like Donkey Kong out here tonight, Nathan.
10 watts per kilogram. Big kick from Godby here. The response trying to come from Kolchinski, but it's not going to be able to happen as Godby's got the kick. But I think Kolchinski is biding her time, perhaps for the Temple KOM, but at the Castle, it's going to Godby. It's going to be Kolchinski here coming in for second place across the line. Doesn't look like too much struggle from her at this point. She may be able to come across here at 5.5 watts per kilogram. She'll drag a few riders with her at this point. Godby now settling up a little bit at 4.1. Now they've got a good group coming across, Dave, so I think this is going to come back together most likely.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Kolchinski, keeping her cards close to the chest here at this point and realizing that she's got a lot of benefit to wait up just a little bit here. No reason to panic yet if you're Kristen Kolchinski, that's for sure. This is what we're talking about, an absolute throwdown from the get-go, and get ready for this all season long. Look at this. Florizone is a rider, another, and Katrina Weiss is on the Aeonian team. Aeonian, a squad that nobody puts baby in a corner, and I'm expecting big things from them this season as well. Nathan, look at the destruction being done at the back of the group now, as they are just wailing away out here. Riders even struggling to hold on to wheels right now. It's that rough. So, you sign up to go into the big leagues and play at this level, and this is what you get. Smash mouth bike racing going on just 7.2K in. And really, I think one of the things about the Castle QOM is that there's really no descending. You go straight into the Temple reverse KOM here. So no rest for the weary, Nathan.
That's for sure. Now, I do see up ahead here, Dave, already on the attack, it seems like. It is going to be off the front just a little bit, Dave. I believe we've got an attack already happening here. It's going to be Kolchinski, and from what I can see, I think Godby making a move. No, Kolchinski has gone back into the pack. She has sat in, and now it's going to be Godby off the front just going for it, Dave. She seems committed. 6 watts per kilogram. I don't think she's holding up.
She looks like she's late for dinner. You know what I mean? Like she wants to get this thing over with as quickly as possible. I mean, this is not a surprise. Jackie Godby is a very talented and aggressive racer. And this level of competition, though, this is going to be interesting because these ladies don't back down. There's Megan Rathwell right on cue. We talked about what a huge talent she is, so she certainly lives up to that. The Canadian rider here closing this down. Nathan, in other worlds, that would have destroyed the field. These ladies bounce right back up and say, that's all you got? Bring it on. This is bike racing at its best. I mean, Nathan, when Jackie Godby makes an effort like that, and you see now that this group is, I mean, she does do extensive damage, but it looks like the top 20 riders, like Quinones here, Lieberman is there, Jean is there, Lawson, they're all right now, I think, feeling like they're in the right place, realizing, though, that this is going to be brutal out here today.
Yeah,
Is that Kolchinsky? It is.
Kolchinsky right onto the wheel here. Godby versus Kolchinsky now at this point. This may be the story that starts to open up here. But Quinones here, this is a new rider here coming from 2024. Good to see her out here. She's a recent pickup for the esports team, and she's making her way up toward the front.
Nathan, in sports, you know, there's always that introduction to the world moment. Optimum is a team that you might get longer odds on right now that will be tightening up when people realize how good these ladies are, because look at how they're doing here. They're the one of the teams that is absolutely punching above their weight. We never even had them at weigh-in. That's how new and fresh they are here. But Optimum is doing a tremendous job amongst some very talented teams. Taking a look, that's Kristen Kolchinsky racing in Montauk over in on Long Island. That right now, I think she's showing some maturity, to tell you the truth. Not going over the top. Well, and as I say that, a little bit of a surge, but that really is the group joining. So let's take some inventory, Nathan. Who's going to make it into this front group now? As there's a couple names that are relatively new to us, some that aren't a surprise at all.
Yeah, this is actually Virginia Blue Ridge's 2024 lineup for today. We do have Kristen and Alana there. Marion's here as well, Dave. And then Laurel Quinones, I'm being told right now by their team manager that Laurel is actually coached by Kristen Armstrong, multi-time gold medalist, Olympian. So be on the watch out for her. Nicole's here as well as Melissa. So there's a nice little lineup here coming from Virginia's Blue Ridge 2024. They've really stacked things out here today with the leadership there of Kristen Kolchinsky.
It's not bad when your coach is the only female athlete to win 3 consecutive Olympic gold medals in her sport. That's some credibility, right? As that's going to be, again, let's take the inventory. Because how does RIOT done here, Nathan? Do they have 3 or 4 in this group? Obviously, Godby, who was lit the fuse out here.
I'm looking through, Dave, and RIOT, it looks like it's Rathwell and Godby. That's it. RIOT,
I think there's one more.
Looking through. Oh, Kuntz without RIOT in the name. Without RIOT in the name. Good spot there, Dave. Good spot. That's going to be Kuntz here. That's this is a rider that is newer to the lineup, I believe.
Nathan.
And that's Madeline.
Yeah, me too.
Madeline Kuntz. We got some new information on her just last
9.6
replacement. Evelyn was replaced, I believe, by Madeline. I believe Evie Gagnon. So good to see Madeline jumping in here, and she's riding strong for a rider who's a replacement jumping in. I mean, this is the top level of esports here, and she's just riding right toward the front of this whole crew.
I have to say, I'll take my cap off to you, Madeline. That's, again, Madeline Kuntz that we're talking about, the American riding up on the front. Krista Kolchinsky is there. We've talked about Jackie Godby. Got to give Laurel Quinones. Same story, to tell you the truth, Nathan. This is another rider. And don't be surprised, folks. This happens. We reset pretty quickly in esports. And new talent shows up. And if you've got the goods, it can get hooked up with some folks that can get you up to speed quickly. It's a steep, steep learning curve. Alana Brady, she's already past that part of it and is an established rider. But Optimum, this is impressive because the rider that we're talking about, Michelle Jean, Nathan, how about them apples? The Canadian is there.
We got points here, Dave. Points. Here we go. We're about to be hitting up some major points at the top here. Will Kolchinski be able to grab them here? She's up and out of the saddle. 9 watts per kilogram. It's all about tempo KOM today, Dave. All about this moment right here. Huge points to be grabbed here. Is it going to be first across the line as well as fast through segment? Here comes Jackie Galby from right. Is she going to nip at the line? I think she did it. She may have grabbed it there from her. Oh, my goodness. That was right to the line. The sprint effort there. Now, up and back and out of the saddle. She's going to chase it down because, remember, Dave, it's all about the anvils. And now Gabby backs off. Godby backs off to 2.0. Kolchinski says enough is enough. Looks like she may be going over the top, or is she just going to be backing right on off? Looks like it's a back off here and calms things down.
Wow, the battle royale going on right now. I mean, Kolchinski is used to absolutely destroying people's souls, and she's got Jackie Godby giving it as good as she's getting it. And there goes Quinones. This is the moment that we've been waiting for in esports, where these teams now have this depth of talent. Quinones goes in, they have to cover, and who's it going to be? Jackie Godby, I believe, is going to try to cover this move coming from Laurel Quinones here. So it's just body blow after body blow being thrown in. That looks to me, is it going to be Aeonian coming through? I'm going to have to learn what this Optimum jersey looks like even. That's how
it.
fresh
Optimum.
they are.
Optimum.
There you go. And that's the anvil. 50 kilograms.
They're getting anvil, Dave. That's what's going on here. And huge separation. Now, Dave, do you think it's going to stick? Because there is a reality that there's enough bodies behind here that they're going to come back together most likely. Unless this is a full all-in moment, it probably is going to come back together because these are kind of out alone solo moves. Now, if Godby and Jean come back together, that's going to be a threat.
I completely agree, Nathan. This is where
You
I
got
have
it,
a feeling
Megan?
that Optimum is going to learn more about racing and esports in the next 20 minutes, and it's going to benefit them greatly throughout this season and on into the future. But you're going to see the amount of, I mean, these women are human wattage blowtorches back there. So right now, I think that this is going to be a welcome to the big leagues for, it's Anne-Sophie Therian that we're talking about right now off the front, but she's certainly got she's got a teammate that's benefiting back there for her. But look at this. Jackie Godby will not lay back. Jackie Godby's taken out her sword and is slashing away at the front. She's got her pain stick out, Nathan, and she's bashing people with it here, as Godby is, again, certainly the animator and the dictator of this race so far with 11.6K in. And to be honest, we're just getting going, folks. The finish line today is not going to be at the standard arch, and you're going to see this is going to be another surge coming here, Nathan. Just all over the place right now, far from what we see in a lot of other races today. This is the most aggressive I've seen around the globe.
Look at this, Dave. 4 riders there in.
Oh, man.
Jean,
Sorry, my legs
Godby,
are...
and then it's going to be
Fuck
Quinones shutting things down here, doing the work. Megan Rathwell, no going across. 7.2 watts per kilogram coming from her. Kolchinski fading behind that, though. It looks like Kolchinski is going to respond up and out of the saddle very quickly there. We do see that little kick here coming from Kolchinski. 8 watts per kilogram. Actually using a feather power up and on the attack a little bit here, Dave. She goes flying right on by this entirety. Rathwell going to respond. I don't think that's going anywhere, though. That was just to make sure that this doesn't maybe get away from her, as there was a roll through of speed as Quinones is off the back a little bit. So
sprint,
that was to make sure that the slingshot, she didn't get
kilometers.
the
Castle
bad
climb,
end of the stick there when it
17.3.
comes to the slingshot effect.
And
A
then
lot of
10
times you
to
do
finish.
see in situations like that. Now we do have Rachel Lieberman and Alana Brady solo here with Kuntz off the back. These three may not see the front of the race again unless they do some serious work.
So Therian has got extensive in real life racing experience as well, so she's not one to be messed with, that's for sure. Rachel Lieberman is a great story of how she discovered her talent, kind of a Strava rather than Zwift. In this case, she's out doing Strava rides and seeing that she seems to be pretty decent at this. Well, she sure is, and she might bring this group back. We've talked about Madeline Kuntz, the new to Virginia Blue Ridge 2024 rider. I'm not sure if she's new to the team, but she's new to their esports team, and is certainly having an impressive outing here.
Lana Brady now, solid ride. Yeah, it's really good to see the newer riders though, Dave. I'm loving this new, a lot of them too, and really great to see how much disruption that's bringing to this narrative that we've had for a long time. We've seen this narrative between 2024, RIOT, now ATP Stingers getting the mix of it as well, as we are looking at Rachel Lieberman here, one of their top riders. But suddenly Optimum putting a little bit of a wrench in the spokes here right now.
Yeah, I think that was the hot sauce that this league actually needed to bring more flavor out, and everyone's going to benefit from having these Canadian women jumping in and stirring the pot. That's for sure. So we're looking at what is really, honestly, such a tough thing to watch. This chase back right now, because there's a lot of horsepower up in that front group. I mean, you've got Jackie Godby driving things right now. Laurel Quinones there, Kristen Kolchinsky. So the cream is rising to the top. This is the chase group that we're looking at. That I wouldn't bet against them. That's for sure.
Yeah, this chase group, I think we do have a pretty solid between the three of them. 4.1 watts per kilogram or so. We do see at the front of this race here 6 seconds up, only 3.8 really being thrown down. I think Optimum are going to be the main drivers of this break, because Kolchinsky, as well as Quinones, both of them at this point have teammates behind that will be thinking, hey, we need to move up here, get another rider involved. That's not going to be too much of a threat, bringing these other two riders up, and we want a little extra help perhaps. And so they're not going to be driving the pace away from their teammate, I would assume. Alana being so strong, they're going to want her in this sprint as well that's coming up pretty quickly here. So a lot of those going to have to earn some pretty big matches, though, to get back involved here, Dave. I don't know.
Well, it is really fascinating, and a great example of how racing in esports is a lot of times almost exactly like in real life racing. Because when you look at that front group, it really is the Canadian women and Optimum that have no interest in letting these ladies rejoin. But they're not going to do all of the work to hold these ladies off either, because that's not a wise play. So they're kind of stuck in a tough place right now, because both of the teams that are with them in the breakaway, well, I call it the front group at this point, that being RIOT and 2024, they would both like to see these ladies catch back on. The wild card here is Rachel Lieberman for ATP. So the team that doesn't want to see them join isn't willing to fully commit at keeping them away. But they're doing, I would say, 60% of the pace setting right now up in this front group. That's Laurel Quinones rolling through, but you're going to see this green and blue jersey that is Optimum, the team out of Quebec. I'm saying Quebec, and I assume it's true. I was just looking at Anne-Sophie Therian. She
we got Patrick Vacan over on the YouTube is confirming that. So chat, much as chat may know.
Great.
Just so you know.
Thanks, Nathan.
Hey, for the sprint's coming up right now, Dave. Here we go, and right around the corner there. It's hidden behind those rocks, so you can't always see it.
So you got to think Godby now, right? And getting out in front of it is going to be Laurel Quinones. Jackie Godby has taken the sprint so far. Here she goes, winding it up. It's like watching a helicopter taking off as Godby does pick up those points. But right now, the points distributed from 10 down to 1. Even though Godby's been dominant, it wouldn't really show with a huge point advantage, to tell you the truth. She's winning, but just a few points here and there. Not huge chunks. Waiting at the finish line, there's 40 points. The points that she picked up at that sprint arch were 10.
What does that mean?
That's a really good point, actually, Dave. And so the reality is that it's a good pickup, but it might not be worth the matches being burned there. I want to get a real quick little comparison, for what we just saw there. When it comes to the sprint, Godby, when it comes to her sprinting prowess, we'll make this get this a little bit bigger, perhaps. We'll see what we can do about that. But, the reality of her ability here on a sprint, all the way up into that 15 watts per kilogram, 4 or 5 seconds that she can hold. If you bring her into 5-second range and you make the comparison there, you do see it's a little bit higher there than Kolchinsky can possibly pull up. A little bit more of a climber, able to just nip her at the line. And Dave, it really is that little bit, isn't it? Between the when it comes to those neuromuscular abilities, it's really those split-second little bit of kicks, and as well as timing, that's really going to win things out.
I'm going to give Kristen Kolchinsky a world of credit for making what Kristen does that's brave in my mind is she'll look at her weakness and try to get stronger there rather than always relying on her strength. And that has really taken a lot of courage and made her into a much better all-around rider. Kolchinsky can sprint now, but I mean, when you look at it, Katie Locher is the only other rider that I really know of that makes more than 14 watts in a sprint. And Jackie Godby is in a league of her own. And in many, many ways, I don't even think she's a PhD candidate. I believe that she's got her doctorate now and works in the medical field. She's an impressive human being, no question, when you talk about Godby. One of the more celebrated national team riders through the last couple world championships for the United States as well. She's delivered great results. Kolchinsky also has been a perennial top 10 rider. And they've been the riders, Nathan, that have been doing it for the last few years because experience is hard to come by in esports.
Yeah, and speaking of world's esports rosters, I mean, that's coming up, and it really hasn't been a part of our conversation. We've taken a little bit of a break here recently, and with World Championships coming up, though, I mean, Dave, these rosters are stacked with women specifically in this race.
Yeah, actually, if you looked at it, probably 10 of these women, maybe that might be a little high, but absolutely, good point. Those worlds are coming up in mid-February of this year. Something to really look forward
Jacqueline
to. Back to the action,
Godby,
right?
she's there. Kristen
Kolchinsky will be
is
there.
in here as well. So, I mean, big names. Arya Vaharan racing actually in the afternoons in the European. But definitely two of the big names are here in this race right now. In this front pack will be representing at Worlds.
Well, you would think if you're USA National Team Selection Committee, take a look at Laurel Quinones, friends, because I would like to see her on. If there was a Dave Toll Nation, she might be on my team because she's showing some real talent out here.
Now, this bike selection hasn't been something we've talked about so far, Dave. Nobody making a bike swap, interesting enough.
Yeah.
And nobody coming to the line with a gravel bike, from what I could see. Is there? I don't think anybody selected and decided to just roll with a gravel bike. I'd be really surprised to be able to hang on at this front pace if they were able to do so. But we are seeing the Trons alongside Scott Edick and those half dish wheels across the board, the KDXs as well as the Zwifts. Interesting to see as well. What I'm wondering here, Dave, when it comes to the climbers, who's going to win out between these? I mean, we've got some new names showing up here. That is Kolchinsky getting a little bit worried about how things are going to play out, or did she play that first climb a little bit quieter than she will the second?
It's hard to bet against Jackie Godby, isn't it?
Christina, are you going to bike swap again?
Finney, there's short twitch muscles, fast twitch muscles, and sprinters typically going to be the fast twitch, the endurance athletes, the short
overall
twitch.
matters.
Some athletes are apparently all twitch, and I would say Jackie Godby is all twitch.
No,
really
everybody.
It's surprising to see an athlete that can make 15 watts per kilo in a sprint who can also climb in the front group on the toughest of climbs out there. Not many athletes, and certainly I can't think of anyone that has the range that Jackie Godby has. So Kolchinsky, probably my favorite, Nathan, the way she's ridden smart out here, but Jackie Godby is going to be really, really tough to beat. This is going to be coming up in the next 3K, to tell you the truth. We're going to be moving into, transitioning into the finale of this race very, very quickly, and the monster points that wait there. It's obviously going to be this group throwing down, but that's a great question. Or do we have our welcome to the big time Anne-Sophie Therrien, the Optimum rider? Does she pull out something that will shock the world today?
That's a great question, actually. There could be a complete upset here of a rider that we have no predictions on. It really, to suddenly show up and just throw down in that kind of a way against this kind of level would be absolutely amazing. Or has Megan Rathwell been doing her homework, putting the work in here? I mean, she has made this front group and is showing me that she perhaps has the legs out here today to challenge. But I do see Kolchinsky, it looks like, on the move here, up and out of the saddle.
Remember, it finishes
with the feather
at the
power
top
up,
of the
and she goes ahead and
climb.
comes over the top at 8 watts per kilogram now, 179 beats per minute. And there's that classic rhythm that we see from her, up and out of the saddle, steady on the pedals here, waiting for the pounce, though, I think that is going to be coming from Godby in just a moment.
I think that was her dog Moscow running along on the side there, cheering her on, that really motivated Kolchinsky. As Kolchinsky is on the front now, it looks like we're really starting to motivate at this point. Godby's going to respond. Godby's sitting second wheel. It's going to be Jean there, the Canadian rider, one of the two Canadians. Michelle is the rider sitting third wheel right now. Her teammate Therrien right there in fourth. That's the arrow, the power-up that you're looking for, the feather power-up. as she'll reduce her weight by 10%. Godby don't care. The Honey Badger now, Jackie Godby going up and over the top. Classic Jackie Godby right now for Riot, Nathan.
Taking second place, but over the top with speed there, and Kolchinski having to respond. We have a Kolchinski versus Godby situation developing off the front here. And this could be a situation that they need to commit to as well, Dave. They could make a move and roll away from this pack if they really wanted to.
Well, it's interesting, that pack right behind, we're going to find out the medal that they've got, and that's a lot of talent to not let these two go clear, and they're going to close that down, welding this back together. That's a big moment in esports history right there. That's when Optimum really arrived. Typically, you see Godby and Kolchinski rolling off the sprint. They're gone, baby, gone, but not today. It's a whole new universe that we're racing in. Good for Megan Rathwell as well, the Riot rider, for being here representing. So that team, Riot's got two. The Canadian Rathwell, the American Godby. Kolchinski's there with her, obviously American, with her teammate as well. And now, Laura Quinones. And now it really is this Optimum team that are the wild cards here. As we're going to go into an absolutely frenetic finale. Time to Canuck up, ladies. And that's exactly what they're doing. Look at the Canadians setting the pace right now, Nathan. No one could have predicted this except for the Canadians that knew how strong they were.
This is amazing, Dave. I haven't seen anything like this up against this level. I mean, we've got world class here in the world of esports, and they are being challenged by this new team that has showed up in the Americas East. Obviously, the rivalry that was going to kick off was on their radar, and they have shown up and dropped bombs here. Now, Godby, though, right to the front, up and out of the saddle here, pushing the pace. Optimum responds, and at the back is 2024, but Kolchinski says no. She's going to get right on that wheel at 6.2 watts per kilogram because she knows she cannot let an inch be given. Quinones there trying to respond to her teammate.
Well, I have to think that both 2024 and Riot are saying, who are these girls? Good God, this is amazing. And they're giving it like they're getting it, if not better, right now. I mean, this is really one of the great moments. We're going to be now seeing Kolchinski doing what KK does, going to the front. They're going to run out of real estate pretty quickly, and I think Krista Kolchinski is going to light her rocket and see if just try to burn this one full gas now. So Kolchinski to the front. It's a couple of seconds, so I do think that this suits her so well. Jackie Godby, will she come back? Don't want to bet against her, but Quinones now coming over the top of Godby. Kolchinski going clear by 4 seconds. So Kristen Kolchinski's in her element right now, Nathan.
Yeah, she is at 6 watts per kilogram. And look at this. Everyone just kind of looked at it and said, nope.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that was the moment right there, Dave. Good call there. I mean, I even saw we had Godby up on camera there, and I saw her kind of look around, watch it go, and there was zero response. It was essentially Kristen's giving 6 to 7 watts per kilogram at the 10% gradient. She opened up an immediate 10 seconds over the top. The roll through on the speed there, done and dusted, Dave. It looks like this race is over for first. Now it's a battle for second.
So 40 points for the winner. That looks to be Kristen Kolchinski. We'll see if she's going to hold on. Now, second place, 35 points. Third place, 30 points. And then it's almost the same, to tell you the truth, 29, 28, 27 for the other riders here. So it makes a big difference if you can get first, second, or third out of that select group that we've got. And Kolchinski doing what she does, putting on a clinic here in the finale. Boy, this lived up to all the hype, no doubt about it. With all the respect in the world to the Optimum team, they found out what the level is. Nathan, they showed up, performed, and we're going to hear a lot more about Optimum, but today it certainly looks like Kristen Kolchinski getting her form together for the World Championships. I don't know if Canada has fully selected their team or not, but they're going to want to take another look at Darian and Jean there, Michelle Jean. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. If not, I'll definitely work on that. But this is now going to be Kolchinski here in celebrating a command performance. This one will be a nice notch on the belt, Nathan.
100%. Look at her getting into the dancing mode. Most likely has the music absolutely smashing in the background.
There's a pizza
here. There's a pizza already on the way. Yeah, for sure. Let's go back to the Godby group, see how this is playing out here. 5.7 watts per kilogram coming from her. She looks pretty calm and collected still here. I think she's waiting for her moment. At 179 beats per minute, though, I think these FTP riders, she's thinking about how she can out-sprint them. She knows she has the kick to take them down. She showed it at the top last time around here. She showed that she could easily out-sprint the rest of the group. Will she have that kind of kick again? It's double points at the top here, a lot on the Rhine. And let's also speak to the reality of 2024, Dave. Quinones needs to make something happen here as well because there's only a lot of Brady behind, and there's a lot of riders still for other teams in between Kolchinski and Quinones.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against Jackie Godby, to tell you the truth, Nathan. Quinones has got her work cut out for her. As Godby coming into this one, it's a finale that suits her. She's going to go ballistic out there. Now, when you look at those points, right, that's what's so great about WTRL, is you not only have the points available here at the finish line for the win, 40, but also the 10 points that you get for first across the line at this finish line. So this is a double dip if there ever was one as they come across the line here. And it would be huge for 2024 if they could get Quinones through in second or third. That would be very nice. That would really help negate what Jackie Godby did, picking up all those extra points by getting the first places in the FDSs and FALs. This is a great day for WTRL and Zwift Racing in full effect out here. Krista Kolchinski winning, that shouldn't surprise anyone. But I think what will be encouraging is to see the rise of the Optimum team.
100%, as well as RIOT there right on the heels. Again, this is a team game, Dave. We've seen this many times. Kolchinski giving the last dig all the way to the line. That's not needed just for today. That's also the training that needs to go in for the reality of the World Championships coming. But, Dave, 28 seconds back, it's going to be Godby versus this new team out here today. What's she going to be able to pull off?
I tell you what, this is an awesome moment for Michelle and Anne-Sophie, because if they can get Jack, well, just being here is awesome. She's going for it.
Is she going to get it? Is Laura going to do it? No, Godby's got 12 watts per kilogram. Look at the kick there from Godby. Cross the line, grabs it, but Quinones holds on, it looks like. Here behind it, it's going to be Lieberman from ATP. What a kick there from, look at Godby. She is a monster. Oh my gosh. Sat down and looked so calm. Spins it out here. Lieberman, nice ride from Rachel
Good job,
Lieberman.
Rachel.
Actually catches Rathwell.
That's big. She's a great climber, the rider out of Seattle. This is going to be the Canadian Megan Rathwell coming through, who rode up in that front group for the full day. Both the American and Canadian national teams have got to be excited with what we saw out here today. Is this going to be a lot of Brady? It is.
Yeah,
look at this, Nate. A lot of Brady picking up some more points.
Yeah, big kick there for 8th place here. And look who it is. Miss Plaid's got to see what she can do. This is one of our featured riders actually today. She's got a solid 15 watt per kilogram, 5 seconds, as you can see. She's a sprinter out here. I'd be surprised if she doesn't win this, but she does have the Aeonian rider, Angela Roberts, right on her wheel, who's also a big sprinter, as well as Bluski. This is a sprinter's
what a
group actually here. Yeah, and Nyquist. And Nyquist is here as well.
Yeah, all of these riders are notorious sprinters here. This is going to be a real showdown. That is the helmet. It reduces your CDA, your rolling resistance. No, excuse me, you're making you slicker, more aerodynamic. But here we go. Sprint begins.
Uski. Uski's going to make it happen here. Grossman, I think, has the kick, but isn't able to hold on with the reality of the FTP that had to be put out there. Nyquist's going to fade a little bit, but she's going to get ahead of Moraz. It's going to be Steinman's here also for 2024, coming ahead of Cassie Nelson. Shout out to Cassie Nelson and Aeonian. They were going to be on camera for us today, but I think the internet failed for them. Annie Poland coming across the line for OTR. And then it's going to be Catherine Monks from Abs Great Finesse. I want to know what's going on with Anna Russell. I heard she did a bike swap, but I'm not seeing a different bike. I heard that she did a bike swap.
Client side.
Yeah, it could
be a client side thing.
Oh, here we go. Watch. There's the power up. She just used it. We saw her hit it on camera there. There's the arrow. Will she make the catch? Go get this Anna to the line. Not sure it's going to happen. She does. She nips it. There it is. 23rd place on the day. Nicely.
I don't know about that kit choice, though. Boy.
Well, I think what happened there, Dave.
Mister, your medicine, Anna.
I think the Kappa magically changed it to the Tour de Zwift. I think she warmed up in Tour de Zwift. I think that's actually what happened, and then it didn't swap her look. Oh my gosh, look at her. This gives you the reality, Dave, of what this is like.
And she's
I mean,
already communicating now
Oh,
with her
geez.
teammates. They're on Discord, the Riot team. These ladies have a lot of fun with it's as much social as it is competitive in so many ways. That's Rachel cooling down out there right now, the ATP rider. We'll hear more from ATP. We'll hear more from Aeonian. We'll hear more from OTR. It's a long season here. Team time trial coming up next week as we had a chance today to race in one of the most beautiful worlds that we'll ever see in Zwift, Mercury Islands. As the Umazi launch back in May of 2021 brought this. There's Jackie Godby.
Oh my God.
The Pain Cave. That looks like a legitimate.
Whew. Sorry, team. Those legs definitely weren't quite ready. How did we go? Oh, go Jackie. Oh, nice work. Oh. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. Oh, wow. Oy, oy, oy. Yeah, no, that was great. Good work. My least favorite part was being like, where is the bike I'm supposed to get? And like kind of like trawling through my garage and going, oh shit, I didn't think I'd do that very well. It's so easy to do when you're just like riding, and then when you're under pressure, it's like, oh my God, what am I doing? Oh shit. Oh no. Oh God. It's quite fun though. Oh man. I still don't have any results on like Zwift Power yet. It's weird. I think I was like 21st or something. Whew. Yeah. Yeah, when you were like, if you guys attack off the front, I'm gonna get dropped. I was like really close to saying, I unfortunately think you're gonna get dropped anyway. I was like, this pace up that climb is gonna be so hard. What's slower on the downhill? kind of depends on the group situation. Like if there's a group just behind you, it won't help as much. Like it's, yeah, because you're going down hills, I think. Like, because the gravel has I don't know if you noticed it, but like on the pinches, on the uphill is when you like gain the most. Yeah, I think I need a break. I'm glad I'm DSing you guys next week. Oh, that's gonna be good. Do we know, we like did pretty well. I wonder where we came.